talk to you a little bit about what we do. Democracy and freedom are being spread around the Middle East at the moment. As the revolutions that started in North Africa take hold of the entire region, people are realizing that they have the power to change their reality and actually change the circumstances that they find themselves in. For the past 8 years, we at OneVoice have been building a mass movement of Israelis, Palestinians and internationals dedicated to the cause of conflict resolution and demanding that the leaders in the region listen to their people and end the conflict. Building from a few activists in 2002 to over 650,000 supporters today, the movement has at the core of its ideology the concept that people on both sides have more in common with each other than extremists in their own societies. And by finding that common ground, we can motivate people to demand the end of the conflict. At the heart of this is our youth leadership program, and it's this program that we're asking you to support tonight. Since 2004, the movement has trained up over 4,000 young Israelis and Palestinians, 2,000 from Israel and 2,000 from Palestine, to be the heart and engine of our movement. Our youth leaders come from every walk of life and from every different community background. From the refugee camps of Palestine to the Russian-speaking communities in Israel, from the farmers in Salfit to the religious communities of Jerusalem. We have found young, passionate activists who are ready to take those leadership roles within their communities. In each nation, there are different challenges, narratives and cultural obstacles to overcome. And for this reason, we train our youth leaders with different skills that meld the traditional organising of the past, whether that's through town hall meetings or through public speaking, with the digital knowledge necessary to actually organise in the 21st century. And because of this, we have a unique ability to have an offline, people-based movement with a dynamic online presence, which allows us to distinguish ourselves from those around us. Good examples of this would, for example, be on the March 15th movement, which was a movement of Palestinians demanding national unity, so the unity between Fatah and Hamas on a civil society level. Our youth leaders were at the heart of this, and we had people marching across the West Bank. But alongside this, they were live tweeting their demonstration and allowing their message to transcend national boundaries and build to the movement. When OneVoice Israel tried to break the collective apathy in their own society, we designed a Facebook application that allowed you to take a status update from your Facebook page to be put on the sides of buses and into the hands of political leaders. Therefore, taking something that means that people who cannot at the moment march, whether it's due to apathy, exasperation, they can have different stares in their actual activism, and we allow them to grow in this way to grow the movement. We've amassed an incredible group of alumni, people like Mohammed Kalani, who is an award-winning software engineer in Palestine, Yoel Hassan, who is currently the number 4 on the Kadima list, which is the largest party within the Israeli Knesset, Malaka Samara, who started up her own network of summer camps for disadvantaged youths within Palestine, and Tal Harris, who is an example about how we are an indigenous grassroots-led movement. He started off as a youth leader and is now the executive director of our Israeli office. The graduates of our programs are the future leaders in the business, political and NGO spheres within the countries, and they provide the pressure necessary to take the top tier of leadership to end the conflict.
So as international staff, it's our role to help give a platform for the youth leaders that's going to give them a global voice. So we organise meetings for them with UK MPs, with US senators and representatives, speaking engagements in the European Parliament in Brussels, and the World Economic Forum in Davos is another occasion where we bring the voice of our youth leaders to their elected representatives and to key world leaders. We also have outreach trips in the USA and in Europe, and these are visiting schools, communities, universities to engage with the grassroots. These encounters work two-way. They're an opportunity to encourage and support our activists in Israel and Palestine, but it's also to motivate and challenge the international community to ask themselves what their role is in ending the conflict. School children and community members have their stereotypes challenged. The university students turn from angry polarisation to pragmatic conflict resolution, and the political leaders are reminded of the importance and urgency of achieving a peace agreement that is going to make the difference to the people living on the ground to whom it matters most. It's only on this united global front at all levels that the breakthrough will finally come. You have in front of you in table form some figures showing you that £5,000 would fund training for our youth leaders and the running costs of town hall meetings for around 4 months. This shows the breakdown of the various components of the programme. Most of the funding would go towards the town hall meetings and the actual training of the youth leaders. That's paying the trainer and the materials for the session. Ask us about town hall meetings in the Q&A session because we don't have time to talk about everything now. However, this chart shows you that it would only fund a proportion of a year's work. In order to go into 2012, we would have to raise an additional £10,000. And in order to get to the end of 2012, we would actually need an additional £20,000 to run the programme all the way to then. By that point, we would have an additional 800 youth leaders across both societies, following hot on the heels of those who've already moved into positions of high responsibility, either in the OneVoice movement or in the political spheres of their own countries. So, in conclusion, we are asking you to help raise the platform for these young people, these real voices of real people who want real peace. Our youth leaders are realistic. They know that they're never going to agree on historical narratives, nor do they feel that they need to. But they are united in calling for their leaders to deliver a peace agreement that is going to grant them that basic human right for freedom, security, and justice and peace. So they depend on your support. Thank you.